with the passing of JDF, I've been seeing a lot of people turn around and say RIP Tommy Oliver, etc., etc., and it kind of got me thinking. Now, I'm wondering if people are just saying that because of the character, if some people are confused, because I know a lot of people do kind of see as the character is the actor is the character, etc., etc. I see that quite a lot. And to me, it still feels really weird that JDF isn't here. I do believe that at some point he'll do a live stream and be like, hey guys, I'm here. We're talking about Legend of the White Dragon. And I think with everyone sharing the memories, it feels like he's still here. And I kind of really wanted to talk about Tommy Oliver and what they're going to do with the character. You know, are they going to recast? I don't think they're going to recast, because it would just be, I think the entire range of fandom would have a massive uproar. And, you know, it can never done. I don't think you could ever replace Tommy at all. And again, like, he's such an iconic character. But I did want to talk today about what would happen to the character Tommy Oliver. Most of the time in media, when we see a character flash forward, where we see certain things going on, we normally kind of go, okay, well, that's the point in time. Nothing can happen to the character because it's already been foreseen. Now, cast your mind back to the Christmas episode, I think, of Power Rangers Zeo, where we saw Tommy and Kat looking after JJ's son, their grandson. And we know the end game, so no matter what happens, Tommy and Kat are literally, they grow old together, they have a child, which we've heard in Ninja Steel. I was going to say Ninja Storm, but we've seen in Ninja Steel with Dimensions in Danger. So, what will happen to Tommy? So today I wanted to talk about Tommy and his fate within the Power Rangers franchise, and also if they do it right, great. If they do it wrong, and with how like Simon Bennett has turned around and said that they're going to honor him, could there be some problems? Could there be something that's normal? Who knows? But we're going to talk about it. Now, a lot of people kind of forget about the Christmas episode in Power Rangers Zeo where Tommy is reading a son to his grandson, who is the son of JJ, which we know he's a Power Ranger because he rushes off. I thought originally that this would have been JJ that he's reading to, their son, but obviously no, it's their grandson. We've seen Tommy be an old man. We've seen Kat be an old woman. And these are the things that you see that kind of link in together to kind of cement the actual thing for a character. It means that Tommy cannot die whatsoever, because it then starts messing up what has been. And I feel like if you pulled this string and said like, oh, you know, Tommy has fallen, Tommy is no longer with us, etc., etc., you then start unraveling a lot of stuff that's happened in Power Rangers, and it means that it throws loads of different stuff into other dimensions, different timelines, etc., etc. And I don't think Power Rangers needs that right now. If they literally said like he's fallen, he's no longer with us, which again I don't think that they will do, because Hasbro don't like the death of Rangers, they don't like that sort of stuff, and we've never seen it until maybe the 30th when they maybe talk about Trini, but we've never really like seen any deaths apart from is it Kendall from Lost Galaxy, where obviously they did write her out the series, and I think that's the only time, but then they brought her back. So there have been quite a few things going on. But the problem is, if you take Tommy and say he's gone, you then shift everything back into another dimension, into different timelines, which then can be kind of confusing on which is right and which is wrong. And this is just from my perspective that I've seen through multiple different things with different forms of media when they talk about this sort of stuff. Now, I know that you can't really think about this sort of stuff, and maybe at the time of the Zeo episode, it was a nice thing to kind of have along, and it's like, oh, this is what we want to see with our characters. They're both together, happily married, they've got a grandson, they've got a son, etc., etc. So you can never really kind of like go, oh, well, that's happened. Oh shit, we don't know. It's kind of like a lot of foreseeing of the future, hoping that everything goes right. And maybe they're like, well, if we end the Power Rangers series right here, then at least we know that we have a happy ending for two of the most loved characters. We know that there is a thing called a Ranger Bible. JDF has, I think, a few of them, which then dictates everything that's happened in the Power Ranger universe. And I think that if like say Simon and all that don't have this Ranger Bible, I do believe that they should have one or create one that has everything going through to say like this is what happens with the characters, this is what's happened, like the major key points, not like every single episode like, oh, Jason and all that fought a giant monster and then it links into that. I feel like when you have giant big story arcs, that if you have all of this kind of like listed down, that you can reference back in each series if you're going to use, say, oh, we're going to use Tommy in this episode, or we're going to use Kat in this episode, or we're going to use SPD or whatever, that you have these big major events that you can link back to and go, okay, cool. And then you just update it on a lovely PDF. It'd be nice. I would quite like to see something like that. But at least then you have the element of like the major big events kind of like listed, which I think is really, really cool to do. I would love to read something like this. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, again, I don't think Hasbro are going to mention that he is a fallen ranger. I don't think that they're going to end and say like, oh, Tommy has passed on or something like that. We know that from previous stuff, like from previous tweets or information, that Hasbro don't really like that sort of stuff and they want to kind of keep the character alive. So I feel like now, if anything major big happens within the storyline, that's like, where's Tommy? Tommy couldn't make it. Tommy is off doing something different. Tommy couldn't do it. Tommy slept in. Whatever you want to kind of do. Like, I feel like that would be the right way to do this rather than say, I'm sorry, he's gone. And then that's it. I do really want to see a memorial. Like, I think the Power Rangers Twitter page, as well as like the Facebook page and stuff like the official account did something really, really nice. And I think I would kind of like that at the very end of the episode where it's dedicated to him. I think that would be really kind of nice. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that. What are your thoughts? Do you think that they will say Tommy is gone, or do you think that they will keep him alive for very much longer to carry on the legacy of JDF and the legacy of Tommy? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments and I'll see you.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。